Kari Lake, who is, let me be blunt, when you look at the analysis, you look at the data, you look at this lawsuit, is the governor-elect of Arizona. There's just no doubt she won this election, okay? And they've circled the wagons to protect Katie Hobbs. And this is going to be a battle royale, because if you're in for a penny, you got to be in for a pound here in this fight, right? And the fight is in Arizona, and the fight is in Arizona today.
Remember her? It feels good to say that, doesn't it? It seems like years ago, Kari Lake was deemed to be one of the most formidable Republican candidates, and now she's just groveling on Steve Bannon's podcast pushing voting fraud conspiracies. And while Kari Lake and the far-right portion of the party are railing about voter fraud, more establishment Republicans have a different idea of what happened in the midterms.
Would you publicly say that Donald Trump bears any responsibility for some of the losses in the midterm elections? Would you say that publicly?
You know, I don't like this. I don't like these parceling out, because he supported Ted Budd, who won, and he supported J.D. Vance, who won. I think there's a lot of things. That's why I've put together an after-action report. We've got to look at Dobbs. But here's the one thing that I think people should be talking about: the amount of ticket splitting.
And if you thought those were the only two sides of the Republican takeaways, here's Mitch McConnell's response to the whole thing.
Well, looking back at 22, some of you may recall, I never said there was a red wave. We ended up having a candidate quality time. Anybody remember who mentioned that back in August? Look at Arizona. Look at New Hampshire. And a challenging situation in Georgia as well.
So we've got conspiracy theories to actually we did really well to I never said there was going to be a red wave from different factions of the GOP. And I just love how McConnell is clearly thrilled to be throwing candidates like Blake Masters and Herschel Walker under the bus. It's nice to have agreements across the aisle sometimes, isn't it? Anyway, it's really hard to square all these takeaways and speculate how the GOP is going to strategize going forward into 2024. From the left, it's pretty clear that Trumpism was on the chopping block and was heavily rejected. And it's painful watching GOP sycophants just fail to realize that.
But why are Republicans going and voting for one Republican and not the other?
Trump.
We have to work hard to bring those independents
isn't that the
in.
answer to
but that means turnout was not the issue.
I mean, come on, Rana. How much longer are you going to go down with this Trump ship? Candidate quality is clearly the issue the GOP needs to focus on, one that Mitch McConnell is right to keep emphasizing. But it's not like McConnell didn't endorse any of these picks, and as Senate leader, it's on him to build up those candidates. I'm still not sold, though, on the idea that the party is ready to move past Trump. Yes, his polling is down, his events are less energetic, and his track record is abysmal. But you cannot count this man out. I pointed out after the midterms that since Trump actually was not on the ballot, many low-information Trump supporters may have stayed home. There's no denying, however, that the numbers do not look good for Donald. But he's certainly not finished with his political ambitions. If anything, he might just take the whole party down the drain wherever he goes. Thanks so much for watching. You can follow me on all platforms at Caro Johnson 917.